Hello there, and welcome. My name is Kate, and tonight I'll be your guide on a journey back in time, far back, to the misty green shores of ancient Ireland. Find a comfortable position. Let your body settle. Feel the weight of it sinking softly into the surface beneath you. Take a slow, deep breath in. Hold it for just a moment. And now, exhale slowly, letting go of the day, letting go of any tension you might be holding. Good. Another deep breath in, filling your lungs with calm, and a long, slow breath out, releasing, relaxing. Tonight, we're traveling not just across space, but through centuries, to an island known to the Romans as Hibernia, a land of rolling hills, dramatic cliffs, and history woven with myth, faith, and the clash of cultures. Let your mind drift. Allow the sounds around you to fade as we journey together into the heart of medieval Ireland, a time long before the island knew a single ruler, a time of small kingdoms and ancient ways. Picture, if you will, the landscape. Endless shades of green, fields stretching out, patterned with ancient stone walls, hills rising and falling like gentle breaths under a sky often veiled in soft mist or washed clean by rain. The air smells of damp earth, peat smoke curling from unseen hearths, and the sharp, clean scent of the sea carried on the wind. Throughout the first millennium, this land wasn't one nation, but many. Imagine dozens of small territories, túatha they were called, each a kingdom in its own right, large or small, ruled by a chieftain, a king, known in the old tongue as a re. These kings, they were often locked in rivalries, alliances shifting like the weather, smaller kingdoms owing loyalty to the stronger ones. It was a time of constant ebb and flow, of local power, local pride. Sometimes, a particularly powerful king might claim the title of High King, Ardri, a king above other kings, but no single dynasty ever truly managed to unite the entire island under one banner for long. The loyalty was often more personal, more local, tied to the land and the clan. Imagine the sounds, the wind whistling through standing stones, the murmur of voices around a fire, telling tales, reciting genealogies. In this world, before the arrival of a new faith, immense respect was given to the Druids. They were more than just priests. They were the keepers of wisdom, the healers, the teachers, the poets who held the history and soul of their people in intricate verses. They were the judges, mediating disputes under sacred trees, their knowledge passed down through generations, not in books, but in memory, in the rhythm and cadence of spoken word, a vast, rich ocean of oral tradition, stories of heroes, myths of the land, laws whispered on the breeze. Think of the quiet authority they held connection to the natural world, the cycles of the seasons, the hidden meanings in the rustle of leaves or the flight of a bird. This deep wellspring of poetry and story, it didn't vanish when change came. Instead, it found a new way to endure. Slowly, gently, like the tide creeping up the shore, a new faith began to arrive, Christianity. It trickled in, perhaps carried by traders, by returning travelers from Roman Britain. It wasn't an invasion, more like a quiet conversation starting. And then came the figure history remembers most clearly, Patrick. Later, St. Patrick. He wasn't the very first Christian voice, perhaps, but after the year 432, his work as a bishop solidified the faith's gentle, peaceful spread across the island. Imagine this blending, the old ways and the new, finding ways to coexist. Patrick himself is said to have used the native shamrock, the simple three-leafed clover, to explain the concept of the Christian Trinity, weaving the familiar into the new understanding. In the centuries that followed Patrick, something remarkable happened. Ireland became a haven of learning and faith in a Europe often struggling with darkness and upheaval. Monasteries sprang up across the landscape, not just as places of worship, but as vibrant centers of scholarship, art, and quiet devotion. Picture these peaceful enclosures, stone walls offering sanctuary. Inside, monks painstakingly copied manuscripts, preserving not just religious texts, but also classical learning, Latin, Greek, and crucially, they began to write down these ancient Irish stories and poems the Druids had carried in memory. Think of the quiet dedication, the soft scratch of quill on vellum, the luminous colors being mixed for illumination. This era, the 7th and 8th centuries, is often called the Golden Age of early Ireland, a time when Irish missionaries traveled far, carrying their faith and learning across Britain and into the heart of Europe, founding monasteries in places like France, Germany, Switzerland. Back home, artisans created masterpieces, intricate metalwork, beautifully carved stone high crosses standing sentinel in the wind, their surfaces covered in biblical scenes and Celtic patterns, and the illuminated manuscripts, like the legendary Book of Kells, pages bursting with vibrant color and fantastical creatures intertwined with sacred text, a testament to incredible artistry and deep faith, still breathtaking to behold even today. Imagine the stillness of the scriptorium, the focused calm, the creation of beauty in isolation, a light shining brightly. But peace, even golden ages, rarely last forever. From the very end of the 8th century, around 795, a new, unsettling sight appeared on the horizon. Longships, sleek and fast, carrying fierce warriors from the north, the Vikings. Initially, they came to raid, striking quickly at the wealthy, often unprotected monasteries along the coasts and rivers, plundering gold, silver, precious artworks, taking captives. Imagine the sudden fear, the disruption of that quiet monastic life, the scattering of communities. So much of the beautiful Irish goldwork that survives today was found buried far away in Viking graves in Norway, a poignant reminder of those turbulent times. Yet, the Vikings weren't just raiders. Over time, they began to stay, establishing permanent settlements along the coast, protected harbors where they could repair their ships, trade, and live. These settlements grew, evolved, becoming the first true towns Ireland had known. Places like Dublin, Wexford, Waterford, Cork, Limerick. Their names echo that Norse heritage. They built defenses, became part of the complex political landscape, intermarrying, trading, sometimes fighting alongside Irish kings, sometimes against them. They brought new skills, new trade routes, changing the fabric of Irish life forever. Imagine the bustling activity of these new coastal towns, a mix of cultures, languages, the tang of salt and sea mingling with the smoke from forges. The struggle for power continued between Irish kings, and now, with the Viking presence adding another layer of complexity. For a time, it seemed one man might finally unite the island and break the Viking dominance. Brian Boru, a powerful king from the south. He rose through strength and shrewd alliances, challenging rivals, Irish and Norse alike, culminating in a great battle, fought near Dublin at Clontarf in the year 1014. Imagine the tension leading up to it, the gathering of forces. It was a monumental clash, a defining moment. Brian's army was victorious. The main power of the Dublin Vikings was broken on that day. A turning point. But victory came at a devastating cost. Brian Boru, the High King who had come so close to forging a unified Ireland, was himself killed in the aftermath of the battle, slain in his tent. And so, the dream of unity died with him. Ireland, though victorious against the main Viking threat, didn't coalesce into a single kingdom. Instead, it fractured once more, falling back into the familiar pattern. Smaller kingdoms, powerful families, vying for supremacy, endless cycles of local warfare, alliances made and broken. The land remained divided, vulnerable, heading towards another profound shift that would arrive from across the sea in the next century. But let's leave that future history for another time. Let your mind rest here in the echoes of ancient Ireland. Feel the soft mist on your skin. Hear the whisper of the wind through the tall grasses. Picture the enduring stone crosses, the glint of gold in a buried hoard, the patient monk illuminating a sacred page, the rise and fall of kingdoms like the tide. Let these images, these sounds, these feelings wash over you gently, soothingly. The land endures, the green hills remain, holding the stories, the triumphs, the sorrows, deep within their ancient heart. Feel the peace of the monastic enclosures, the quiet strength of the standing stones, the resilience of a culture that blended old and new, that created beauty even amidst turmoil. Let the echoes of the past become a gentle lullaby, carrying you towards sleep. Breathe in softly and out slowly. Feel your body becoming heavier, more relaxed, sinking deeper into comfort, into stillness. The sounds of the past fade, replaced by the quiet rhythm of your own breathing. The journey is over for tonight. It's time to rest, to drift into peaceful, deep slumber. May your dreams be filled with the soft green light of Ireland and the quiet whispers of its long, rich history.